You're 3 steps from the gate in Dubai. Your bag cleared security 40 minutes ago. You're texting your ride when 2 customs officers walk up, ask to see your carry-on, and pull out your prescription bottle of Adderall. One of them opens it, examines the label, and says, "You need to come with us." 20 minutes later, you're in a windowless room being told that what you thought was a legal prescription is classified as an illegal narcotic in the UAE, and you're facing confiscation, fines, or worse. This video breaks down 13 mistakes getting pills confiscated at checkpoints, customs desks, and border crossings worldwide. One involves a medication in your cabinet right now that's perfectly legal at home but banned in 22 countries. Mistake 1. Transferring pills to unlabeled organizers. You packed your weekly pill organizer with prescriptions, vitamins, and supplements. At TSA, your bag gets pulled. The officer asks what's in the organizer, then asks for original prescription bottles. You don't have them. The officer can't verify what the pills are, and now they're confiscating medications you need daily because there's no label and no way to confirm the contents are legal. TSA allows medications in carry-on, but unlabeled containers can't be verified as legitimate prescriptions versus controlled substances. Internationally, customs in Japan, Singapore, South Korea, and the UAE require medications in original, pharmacy-labeled containers with your name, prescribing doctor, dosage, and pharmacy info. Without labels, they can't confirm compliance. The default is confiscation. If you can't identify it from the bottle alone, customs won't let it through. Keep all medications in original labeled bottles. If you need an organizer, pack it alongside original bottles. Photograph every label and save to your phone. Request printed prescription copies from your pharmacy showing medication name, dosage, and prescribing doctor. Get labeling right and you've cleared the most common mistake. But 2026 has another filter catching travelers at Asian and Middle Eastern customs. Flying with medications banned in your destination. You've taken Adderall for years. You land in Tokyo, customs finds your bottle, and within minutes you're in a secondary room. Adderall is a prohibited stimulant under Japan's law. You're facing confiscation, fines, and possible entry denial. Your prescription doesn't matter. It's illegal to possess. Medications approved in the United States aren't automatically legal elsewhere. Japan bans amphetamine-based ADHD meds entirely. The UAE, Singapore, Thailand, China, and Indonesia classify stimulants as controlled narcotics requiring advance approval tourists rarely get. Codeine in cough syrups is banned or controlled in Japan, Greece, Indonesia, and the UAE. Pseudoephedrine in Sudafed is illegal in Japan and Mexico. One American was detained in the UAE 18 days over ADHD medication. If it's legal at home but banned abroad, your prescription is worthless. Before international flights, check if your medications are legal at your destination. Use CDC's guide to restricted medications and contact the country's embassy. If banned, ask your doctor for alternatives. Many European nations allow Ritalin, but not Adderall. Avoid banned meds and you've dodged legal nightmares. But there's another documentation trap. Not having a doctor's letter for controlled substances. Your bottle has your name, medication, and pharmacy. You land in Germany, customs finds your Xanax and Ambien and asks for a doctor's letter. You don't have one. Both are confiscated. 68 countries require travelers with controlled substances such as benzodiazepines, sleep aids, opioids, and ADHD stimulants to present a signed, dated letter from their prescribing physician. The letter must include your name, medication, and dosage, medical condition, and confirmation you need it for your trip. A pharmacy label alone does not satisfy this. Controlled substances need a letter on official letterhead. At least 30 days before international trips, request a travel letter from your doctor on official letterhead, signed and dated within 90 days of departure. It should state diagnosis, prescribed medication, and confirm personal medical use. For non-English countries, get it professionally translated and certified, secure your letter, and you've added critical protection. But there's another customs trap. Bringing more than 30 days without proof. You're flying to Australia for 2 months, you've packed 60 days of medications. Sydney Customs asks how long you're staying, counts your pills, and says the legal limit is 30 days. They confiscate the excess. Many countries limit medication imports based on stay length. Common allowances are 30 days for controlled meds and up to 90 days for regular prescriptions. Japan restricts travelers to 1 month. UAE and Singapore enforce similar limits. Show up with 6 months supply without documentation and customs assumes resale. If pill count doesn't match your itinerary, you're explaining why. Calculate travel days and bring only that amount plus 3 to 5 buffer days. For trips over 30 days, get a doctor's letter specifying quantity and medical necessity. Print your return itinerary and carry it with medications. Align quantities with dates and you've cleared another checkpoint. But there's a packing choice that becomes a red flag. Packing prescriptions in checked luggage. You pack prescriptions in checked luggage. Your bag gets flagged and now it's delayed for additional screening. By the time it reaches your destination, your medications are stuck at the airport 6 more hours. Checked luggage goes through explosive detection, and prescription bottles can trigger flags requiring manual inspection. Worse if your bag is lost or rerouted. According to BuzzRx, 10% of travelers had medications confiscated or lost, and 1 in 9 abandoned trips because they couldn't access prescriptions. Checked luggage can vanish. Your prescriptions shouldn't. Always pack all prescriptions in carry-on. Never checked. Liquid medications exceeding 3.4 ounces are allowed in carry-on. Declare them at security. Pack a 1-day backup supply in a companion's carry-on. Keep meds in carry-on and you've eliminated a common loss. But there's a TSA step creating confusion. Not declaring liquid medications over 3.4 ounces. You've got 6-ounce prescription cough syrup. You pack it without thinking. At the checkpoint, your bag gets flagged. TSA asks, "Did you declare this?" You say no. Now you're in secondary screening. TSA allows liquid medications larger than 3.4 ounces, but they must be declared at the checkpoint and presented separately. Before your bag goes through, tell the officer, "I have liquid medication," remove it, and place it in a bin. Liquid medications over 3.4 ounces are allowed, but only if you tell TSA first. Place all liquid medications in an accessible pocket. Verbally declare them before placing your bag on the belt. Keep multiple liquid medications in a clear bag separate from toiletries. Declare properly and you've streamlined delays, but there's an item getting treated like contraband. Carrying CBD into countries where it's illegal. You packed CBD oil for anxiety. Bangkok Customs pulls it out. The officer says cannabis-derived products are illegal in Thailand, treated as drug smuggling. Your bottle is confiscated. You are detained, facing fines. CBD may be legal in parts of the US, but Japan, Singapore, South Korea, China, Thailand, Indonesia, the UAE, and Saudi Arabia classify CBD as illegal narcotics. Even in the US, TSA says cannabis products remain federally illegal and discoveries are referred to law enforcement. Legal at home doesn't mean legal at the border. Never pack CBD, cannabis, or hemp-derived products for international travel. If you rely on CBD medically, consult your doctor for legal alternatives. For domestic travel, check destination state laws. Leave cannabis home and you've avoided a nightmare, but common over-the-counter meds get confiscated too. Mistake 8. Bringing pseudoephedrine or codeine to banned countries. You packed Sudafed for congestion and Tylenol with codeine. You land in Tokyo. Customs pulls both out and says they're prohibited. Pseudoephedrine is a controlled stimulant. Codeine is a controlled opioid. Both are confiscated immediately. Common over-the-counter medications containing pseudoephedrine, such as Sudafed and Vicks, are banned in Japan and Mexico. Codeine is banned or controlled in Japan, Greece, Indonesia, Qatar, and the UAE. Even Benadryl is restricted in Japan and Zambia. Cold medicine at home can be a controlled narcotic abroad. Check active ingredients in all over-the-counter medications before packing. Look for pseudoephedrine, codeine, or diphenhydramine. If your medication contains banned substances, leave it home and research legal alternatives available locally. Avoid banned over-the-counter drugs and you've sidestepped another trap. But there's an organizational habit triggering extra screening. Mixing multiple medications in one bottle. You combine 3 prescriptions into one container to save space. At TSA, your bag gets flagged. The officer finds a single bottle with mixed pills and asks what they are. You explain they're your prescriptions. The officer asks for original bottles. You don't have them. The entire bottle is confiscated. When multiple medications are combined, there's no way for officers to verify identity, dosage, or legitimacy of each pill. Prescription. Labels prove medication was prescribed to you by a licensed doctor. When pills are mixed, that chain is broken. Customs agents in strict countries won't accept verbal explanations. One bottle, Multiple pills, zero proof, customs won't risk it. Never combine multiple medications in a single container. Keep each prescription in its original labeled bottle. If space is a concern, ask your pharmacy for travel-sized bottles with full labels. Use a pill organizer for daily doses, but keep original bottles as proof. Keep pills in labeled bottles and you've maintained verification. But there's an administrative trap. Not getting a Schengen certificate for controlled meds. You're flying to France with Valium. You've got your labeled bottle and doctor's letter. Customs pulls you aside and asks for your Schengen certificate. You have no idea what they're talking about. The officer explains travelers entering Schengen with medications under the Opium Act must have a Schengen certificate obtained before departure. Without it, your medication is confiscated. If you're traveling to any of the 27 Schengen countries with benzodiazepines, opioids, or certain sleep aids, you must obtain a Schengen certificate before departure. This document certifies you're traveling with controlled medications for personal medical use. A doctor's letter isn't a substitute. Schengen countries don't care about your US prescription. They want the certificate. At least 60 days before Schengen travel with controlled meds, contact your health department or embassy to apply for a Schengen certificate. Provide prescriptions, a doctor's letter, and proof of travel. The certificate is valid for 30 days. Secure your certificate and you've met a strictly enforced requirement. But common supplements create traps too. Packing supplements with banned ingredients. You packed your daily multivitamin and melatonin. Singapore Customs finds the melatonin and tells you it's a controlled substance requiring a prescription and prior approval. You didn't know. The bottle is confiscated. Many supplements freely available in the US contain regulated or banned ingredients elsewhere. Melatonin is controlled in Singapore, the UK, and several European countries. Some bodybuilding supplements with DHEA are banned in Canada and Europe. Herbal supplements with ephedra are prohibited in multiple countries. Supplements aren't always supplements. Sometimes they're controlled substances. Before packing vitamins or supplements, research whether they're legal at your destination. Check ingredient lists against the country's controlled substances list. If unsure, contact the embassy. For short trips, consider leaving supplements home entirely. Vet supplements and you've cleared another trap, but there's a timing issue creating red flags. Carrying a freshly filled prescription with no history. You refilled your controlled painkiller 2 days before departure. At customs, the officer examines your bottle. Fill date is 3 days ago. They ask how long you've been taking this. You say 2 years. They ask for prescription history. You don't have it. You're pulled aside for questioning. When travelers show up with freshly filled bottles of controlled medications and no supporting history, it raises a red flag. Officers wonder, is this real or a cover for smuggling? The newer the fill date, especially for controlled substances, the more questions you'll face. A fresh bottle with no history looks like a red flag. Time your refill to match your regular schedule. Don't fill right before departure if it makes the bottle look suspicious. Request a printout from your pharmacy showing refill history for the past 6 to 12 months. If you must refill close to departure, bring documentation from your doctor stating length of use. Time refills strategically and you've eliminated a timing flag. But there's one final mistake. Having no backup plan. When customs confiscates, you did everything right. But customs finds one medication that doesn't meet their exact standard. Maybe the label is smudged. Maybe the letter is dated 95 days ago instead of 90. Your medication is confiscated. You're in a foreign country for 10 days without a prescription you rely on daily. And you have no plan. Even with perfect preparation, customs officers have discretion and mistakes happen. According to BuzzRx, 10% of travelers had medications confiscated, and 1 in 9 had to cancel trips because they couldn't replace them. 1 in 6 replaced medications abroad but paid full retail without insurance, often costing hundreds. When customs takes your pills, hope isn't a strategy, documentation is. Before international trips, ask your doctor for a second prescription on letterhead you can take to a pharmacy abroad if medication is confiscated. Research local pharmacies and doctors at your destination. Bring a small backup supply in a separate bag. Purchase travel medical insurance covering prescription replacement. Keep digital and physical copies of all prescriptions and letters. Prepare a backup and you've built a safety net. Avoiding medication confiscation in 2026 comes down to 3 moves. Pack only what's legal at your destination, document everything with original labels and signed letters, and prepare for strict enforcement by researching country-specific rules before you book. If you keep pills in labeled bottles, verify medications are permitted at your destination, secure doctor's letters for controlled substances, and carry backup documentation, you're ahead of most travelers who assume prescriptions just work everywhere. That's how you move through customs without hearing you can't bring that, without losing medications you need daily, and without the panic of replacing prescriptions in a foreign country with no pharmacy network and no insurance. The rules feel stricter because enforcement has tightened and more countries treat prescription drugs with the same scrutiny as controlled substances. But it's predictable once you understand customs doesn't care about your prescription's validity at home. They care about compliance with local import laws. If this helped you understand how medication rules work at international borders in 2026, hit like so other travelers see it before they pack. Subscribe for more insider level travel strategy. And tell me in the comments, have you ever had medication confiscated or questioned at customs? What happened? Those stories are the playbook most travelers never see.